So why do you need a purpose statement? I'm going to tell you two stories. The first is I and my wife Susie, we have some time to kill in Cincinnati one day, and we never been to an IKEA store, so we jump into this IKEA store. Now, an IKEA store is different than any other store I've ever been in. There are no marked aisles, and the aisles aren't straight. You wander through this thing like you're on some kind of snaking path going back and forth. And at one point, you get to an elevator and it only goes down, and you don't remember ever going up. And you go through a whole nother floor, and you're not sure how to get out of this thing. And you're going past things in this chaotic order. You don't understand why they put things in the order they are. But when you get to the end, we had 2 shopping carts worth of stuff, and they were full. Now, life is like that way too often. We're always wandering around. We don't know for sure where we are. We're going past twists and turns, and there's all kinds of temptations all over the place. And without um, knowing why you're there, or what you want, or what you are going to do, you end up throwing stuff in your cart. And, excuse me, and you get stuff in your cart, now your cart's full, and you get down to the end and you just want to get out of there, and you're probably going to walk past stuff, a lot of stuff that could make your life better, but you can't put them in your cart, and you're tired of stuff. So you don't put the stuff you need in there, and you buy a bunch of stuff you don't. Now, all too often, that's the way a lot of us live our life, and that's the way you're almost for sure going to live your life if you don't know why you're there. So now let me relay another story to you. When I was a little kid, I was 10 years old, and I met this man. I saw him only twice, met him once. He came to our house. His name was Brother Birchmans. I found out he's my uncle. Big guy. Reason I didn't know him and never met him is he'd spent the last, I believe, 20 years in Papua New Guinea as a mission. Imagine this, in the 1940s, you're in your 20s, and you get off a boat. I believe he arrived by boat and left by plane. You get off this boat, and you wander off into this area with a few other priests and brothers where there's literally like 200 little tribes, and some of them are actually cannibals yet. And you decide you're going to start meeting these people. You don't even know half their languages, and they don't all speak the same language. All right? Now, he's like in an IKEA store, doesn't know where he's going, wandering around out there, has no idea what's going to happen next. However, he's not like me and Susie in an IKEA store. He's there for a worthy reason and a worthy cause and a purpose that is far bigger than himself. He came home because he was ill. Showed us a slideshow of all these things that had happened to him over there. And he was captured sometimes, but I think most of the time he captured them. And then he had heart surgery. And the next time I saw him, he was in a coffin in Techney, Illinois. Now, he filled the coffin because he was so much, he wasn't heavy set, he was just bigger than most people were back then. And I so remember being 10 years old, walking up and looking at this person in this coffin, which wasn't that rare for a 10-year-old back then to see people in a coffin. And I clearly remember thinking, wow, this guy lived an adventure. That's the difference a purpose makes. You need a purpose that's bigger than yourself. You will never look in the mirror and say, I'm here for a worthy reason and I'm darn proud of who I am, if you don't really have a purpose that's bigger than yourself. And sometimes we have it, but we don't really recognize it. So that's why you need a purpose statement.